What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you saw my last video, I was talking about horror movies that are actually scary. So in this video, I wanted to talk about scenes in horror movies that are actually scary. I'm talking about the scenes that stay with you long after the movie is done. Scenes that even make you consider turning off the screen completely. So let's not waste any time and let's get straight into it. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, I was just recently on vacation in Hawaii and my mind is still there, so just bear with me, your boy's rocking a Hawaiian shirt in this video. So the first scene that I want to talk about in this video is from a movie called VHS, which came out in 2012. It is a found footage anthology horror movie, which simply means there are multiple horror segments within that one movie, and the scene that I'm talking about is in a segment called Amateur Night, which I think is the scariest segment of the movie, and I think the entire movie is really good, but that segment, Amateur Night, is by far the scariest. And when this face came on the screen, I literally ran out of the room. No joke, I ran out of the room. I could not handle it. My best friend Matt showed me this movie, and at the time we were watching it at his dad's house, and you will never understand, but his dad's house was just so creepy in a way that you only would understand if you were there. But then this scene came on, I ran out of the room, and this little paused it right on the face, bro. I was like coming back into the room, like peeking, like, oh no, I don't want to watch that. But just her face being split open in the middle and all the blood, it's just so graphic, and she gets so close to the camera, it's right in your face. It's really intense in my opinion. And not just that part in the scene, but the entire scene when he's running out of the apartment is terrifying, because him and his other friend are still alive, and when they get out of the bathroom, she's in this very weird pose, and this blue fluorescent light really sets off a creepy vibe. It almost puts you in like a little trance, if you will. And then she ends up attacking his friend, and this moment right here in the scene, when he peeks around the side of the bed and you see her on top of the guy just eating him, and it's all bloody and it's a little bit dark, the footage is not great quality, it's a little bit grainy film, that all adds to the scariness of this scene because it feels so real. This is one of the movies where the found footage gimmick really works in its favor, because you really feel like you're here with these stupid idiots that just so happen to mess with the wrong girl, and things went bad real quick. And another thing that adds to the scariness of this scene is that it feels so claustrophobic. You're in this really small ass apartment where you literally just have to run out the door to get to safety, and that's exactly what he does. But as he's running and the panic of it all, he falls and breaks his ankle, and you even see the bone. This is really grotesque part of the scene, but then you see her head pop out of the stairwell. That scene, that specific moment freaks me out, bro. It gets me every time, because since he's injured, he literally can't run away, and her just being like, and just her coming slowly down to him. Oh my god, dude, the anxiety, the nervousness, I'm terrified. So yeah, this scene right here from Amateur Night in the movie VHS is one of the scariest scenes I've seen in my life, so much so that I literally ran out of the room when the face came up on the screen. That's how scared I was. Alright, the second scene that I want to talk about is from a movie called The Fourth Kind. And if you've seen this movie, you know exactly what scene I'm about to talk about. And it's the scene where they put the live footage right next to the real footage, and you see this girl get possessed in real time and hear the possessed voice talking through this woman. And it is freaky. Now, before I dissect this scene, you must understand, this movie claims to be real. Like, it even starts off by saying it's up to you, the audience, to decipher what is real and what is fake. But make no mistake, this is a pseudo documentary. They really lean into it, and they really pulled it off well, kind of like the Blair Witch Project, where a lot of people thought it was real. And that's what you have to understand from my position. When I first saw this scene, I thought this was real. I was a dumb high school teenager just flipping through the channels on HBO, and I came across this movie, so I took it at face value that it was a real documentary with real life reenactments. So when I saw this scene, I lost my mind. because I thought it was real. I was like, oh my god, possession is real. There's aliens are real. Like, that's real. So maybe this scene isn't scary to you, but if you went into this thinking it was a legitimate, real footage of someone getting possessed by aliens, I'm telling you, you'd be freaked the fuck out. Because think about it, what if aliens were real and they did abduct humans and they would run experiments on them like they did in this scene, and they had this god complex, like that one moment when she's like, I am God. I was like, oh my god, what the I mean, just the facial expressions and the screen going static and seeing the darkness, disfigured face, and the entity saying some of the most horrific things ever, like it's God and it controls everything. Because if the aliens had a God complex, they pretty much are gods. Like, they have much more advanced technology than us, and they could just completely f around with us and toy around with us, running experiments on us, and there would be nothing that we could do. That is very scary. Very scary. If aliens are real, I want them to be extremely nice and not the type that want to anally probe us and possess us. Fair enough? The next scene I want to talk about is from the movie The Ring, and yes, I'm talking about the American version. A lot of people hate on this movie, and I don't like that because it seems to be like a trend where wherever we do a remake, it's automatically worse than the original one, which is not the case, dude. And don't get me wrong, I love the original Japanese movie. It is fantastic. There are some beautiful shots in that movie, such as this one right here, but that doesn't automatically make the American version bad. I really love the American version, and I think the scene where the girl comes out of the TV is even scarier in the American version. And I think it's because of the special effects. It makes it look more realistic. She's all wet and dirty because she's coming out of a well, so it makes sense. When she comes out of the TV, it looks much more realistic. And the jump scare when she goes all static and then all of a sudden she's closer to him, you don't get that in the original. And that sudden jump in space really took me by surprise. And what I love about this scene is that it lulls you into a false sense of security. You're watching the TV, so you automatically feel safe because no matter what danger is on this tape, that's all it is. It's a videotape, so it cannot harm you. Or so you think, because as soon as the girl comes out of the TV, you now know the threat is real and you can't run away from it. Oh my god. When I saw this scene, my eyes were completely glued to the screen and I was just in awe. And then when she comes out of the TV, I was like, oh my god, oh dear lord. I gotta show you guys my little ring lamp. Look, I have the little girl coming out of the TV, and it's my little lamp, dude. I gotta show off a little bit. So yeah, that scene definitely spooked me out, and I have to say, little girls with long black hair covering their entire face are just flat out scary. Whether it's The Grudge, whether it's The Ring, whether it's Dark Water, any Japanese horror film where there's a girl with long black hair, automatically, I'm scared. I don't know what it is. I don't think a boy would have the same effect, but bro, imagine being in a hallway and you see just a girl with long black hair, just like, that would freak me out, bro. If it was a dude, I'd be like, all right, is this guy on drugs or what's going on here? But the fact that it's a girl, like, I don't know what it is, it makes it that much scarier. Try to explain this to me in the comments. I don't know what it is, but they're scary. But yeah, the scene from start to finish is extremely scary, and even the tape itself is very creepy. It's just a compilation of weird videos. It makes no sense at all. It's just a bunch of random clips, and then all of a sudden you see a well, and since it's all black and white and it's staticky, it all adds to the ambiguity and the randomness of it that makes it that much scarier, because it's the fear of the unknown. Like, what are we watching? And then you see the hair crawling out, and that is super creepy. And then when she starts to come out, it really captivates you. Like, you're gonna look at the screen and you're not gonna want to move your eyes away. You're just like lulled into this moment, and you're just looking at her like, what is happening? Like, and she's coming straight towards you. I don't know how to describe it, but it is very good. It's a very intimate, scary scene. Do you understand? Like, if you're by yourself, it works that much better, because you're just like, oh my god, why is she walking closer to the camera? And then she comes out of the TV, you're like, oh dear, ay Dios mío señor, coño. So I definitely think the American version is a step above the Japanese film, which I know is a hot take. Comment down below if you agree with me, but I believe this scene works better in the remake. The only part I don't like is the very end when you see her eye. This looks a little bit too CGI and takes me a little bit out of the experience. The last scene I want to talk about is from the movie Grave Encounters 2. Now, I know I put in the thumbnail this demon girl, but that scene is actually in the first Grave Encounters, which is also very scary. It's this group of paranormal investigators and they're all in this asylum overnight, and it's kind of shot in this like night vision lens, and then they see this woman in the corner turn her back around and they don't know who it is. There's not supposed to be anybody else in the asylum other than them. And then when she turns her face, it's a regular normal girl, and then all of a sudden it turns into a demon face. Very effective jump scare, and hats off to whoever did the makeup because she looks terrifying. But if you want a little extra bonus, watch the second movie, Grave Encounters 2, and there is a scene where there is this giant monster that comes out of nowhere. That scene freaked me the f out, just because the sheer size of the monster, it looks humongous. Like when he's coming out of that window, holy cow, what the f is that thing? That scene absolutely freaked me out, and I think the night vision lens really adds to the creepiness of that scene, because it's not completely dark, but you have this like green overtone that just adds to the weirdness, and the whole setting is very creepy. They're in this like abandoned asylum, or a very old asylum that looks run down, and the sounds that it makes, it's like as it's like hobbling towards them, bro. That just, I don't know what it is, but that scene, man, got me. There's no particular build up, there's no like setup to that moment, but just for pure aesthetic reasons, that tall ass white bald monster with those black eyes and black mouth just freaked me the f out. Kind of like the girl scene in the first one, which was also very freaky, but she just doesn't have that physicality that's that scary. Like, I would just punch that bitch in the face. I would be scared to do it, but maybe I shouldn't say that if I don't want to get canceled, but I wouldn't punch a girl in the face. You understand what I'm saying? She doesn't have the size, and she doesn't look as scary as this monster, bro. Look at that thing. We are running if you see that. If you see that, book it. So those are some horror scenes that I thought are actually scary when I saw them the first time. Let me know down in the comments below, what are some of the scariest scenes that you've seen in horror movies? I would love to know. Leave this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.